HGH gut myth. That's right, we're going to bust the myth about the HGH gut. I'm Dr. Tony Hughes, Boston Lloyd, Coach Trevor, and we were just getting our blood work taken because that's what we do. We take a scientific approach to bodybuilding and the chemistry and pioneering human evolution. And we were talking about the GH gut because Boston has a gut, and he knows it. In fact, he likes it. He's proud of it. He doesn't even try to hold it in. That's what people don't understand. He doesn't care what you guys think about it. But he does want to clear up that it's not from HGH. And I know this to be true because I know a lot of guys that have run huge amount of HGH for a long time, and their gut has not grown. But there's another compound that they're running that does grow the gut. Whether it's temporary or permanent, that can be debated. What is this other compound, Trevor?
Insulin.
Insulin. How much insulin are you taking, Boston?
Well, today none, I haven't, but last couple of days about 60 to 70 units.
And do you notice the size of your gut change when you're on insulin?
100%, because you obviously have to intake, a lot of it too is the food. You have, when you're having all that insulin, you got to, compensate with carbohydrates, and I really don't think my digestive system is up to par. So I'm just not digesting. Some people can get away with it. Some people can keep a small waist, but majority of people that I know that run crazy high insulin, they're going to distend.
Yeah, you did do the keto diet. That means no carbohydrates. Correct. Did you notice your waist was smaller?
Tiny, yeah. There was no bloat at all on that, like nothing.
And this is
I was on 12 IUs, 12 units. No, 12 IUs insulin.
Oh, okay.
I mean, my bad. 12 IUs of GH when I was on keto. So that goes to show you, if I was on that much GH and GH was supposedly bringing out the GH guts, that's not true. Because my gut was tiny, on keto.
I noticed the same thing. When I go high carbohydrate, my gut gets a lot bigger. As soon as I go keto, after a couple days, my gut shrinks so tight. Yeah. Is there something about the combination of carbohydrates and insulin that causes the gut to grow, Trevor?
I mean, they both work the same. Your intestines, if people don't understand, there's receptors in your intestines for one IGF and insulin. There's separate receptors for insulin sensitivity in your intestine. People don't understand that. That's why I always talk the importance of nutrition and intestinal health and digestive health. So you're combining something that's hitting these receptors, right? And when these start wearing out, the same thing happens and they get inflamed too. And these start to grow temporarily. And it's not that they're permanently grown, they just swell up like that. And we did that video in Mexico where I said it's not growth hormone causing this whole GH gut. It has nothing to do with it. It's a combination of insulin and eating. And it's temporary.
It is temporary.
You look at guys like Ronnie Coleman.
Or even Palumbo now. His gut's not Palumbo'd out, like it used to be.
Well, Trevor, you took more growth hormone than anybody I've ever known. And your waist is tight. Actually, your waist is a little bit blocky. I mean, but it's actually very small for the rest of the size of your body. But I went back and looked at your competition pictures from years ago, and you've always had a little bit blockier, like a more solid frame.
But it's
always
blood,
had a lot of muscle. Yeah, but there's no blood.
See, I don't get that. I can't keep my stomach that tight. There's no way.
Yeah. So that right there, that's releasing that.
Wow.
We haven't eaten in like 2 hours.
Now, you guys saw the footage when Boston's gut was like really distended yesterday after doing a ton of insulin and high carbs. And today he hasn't eaten very much. He hasn't eaten very many carbs, so it's much tighter. Can you just show?
So let me explain. So I did a 14-hour fast. I just felt like I had so much shit backed up in me. And I did a 14-hour fast. I haven't taken insulin since I shot it pre-workout yesterday. So it's been, it's been almost 24 hours. So yeah, so do you want me to take my shirt off and pose, or
you can just lift it up and show it and pull it in tight, so you can see. I'm looking at the camera so I can see too. I don't see any GH gut at all right now. So
yeah,
that just goes to show. And how about permanent? People are really concerned about the permanent growing of their gut.
The real GH gut, and that's what we were talking about. The real GH gut, it's a predisposition. Same with the head jaw growth from growth hormone. You would be genetically predispositioned to it, and you see when it happens, it's an overnight thing. When they do a lot of growth hormone and it does this, it's a perfect circle. It's not a bloat. And that's what I try and tell people. A bloat when the gut does this is different than when this happens. And it literally looks like a basketball is implanted in your stomach. And it's a genetic predisposition you're born with. And same thing with the head growth, the jaw growth.
The nose. I see a lot of guys getting big ass noses on GH too.
So what's fueling this misconception, this myth, is that it's happening to a few people. Kind of like DNP has killed a few people, and yet there's tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people that have used it for health benefits and for fat burning with no side effects, and yet one person dies and now everybody's worried it's going to kill everybody. Same thing with the GH gut. Some people are predisposed to it, or some people abuse it.
I get more distension. The biggest drug gives me instant distension is IGF-LR3. Like, I notice when I get on a cycle LR3 and my carbs, post workout, my shit just fucking goes crazy.
And it is better to run insulin with the IGF-2 because of the same receptor factor. But I mean, excess is different. But it's those same insulin receptors that bind to the IGF receptors. When those are cleared away, it allows for more free IGF rather than binding to that area. And that's when they talk about the whole, they call it palumboism or GH gut, whatever the term they want to use. A lot of it is just distension from those. You know, it's.
So I'm running GH, and I get paranoid that my gut's growing because it does get really bloated. All I do, and usually it's from wheat.
You don't consider yourself bloated right now, though.
I'm bloated right now. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, that's like me on a good day.
I had a breakfast burrito with cheese and a wheat tortilla.
You feel bloated, though. You feel bloated. Like, you feel slow.
I feel bloated, and the pressure, and it's pushing out. But what'll happen is then the next day I'll be like, I don't want to feel like that today. So I'll go low carbohydrate, or I'll go no wheat products at the very least, and my waist will tighten up again, and then I'm like, okay, thank God it's not permanent gut growth. But see the paranoia I've got in my head from everything I've heard from online and other people making being fanatics about the GH gut.
All right, big on the fiber for that same reason.
Let's give them a be swell and swole, my friends of freedom, pioneers of human evolution.